Everyone, welcome back to another episode of Chalk Talk. And if you've never been here, welcome. And if you are still
Welcome.
curious to why we're laughing, go to the bloopers in the shorts section. Anyways, today's episode is about Cathie Wood. We have lots of shorts, but today is Cathie Wood in an episode within an episode within an episode.
Wait, our bloopers aren't on shorts yet. They're at the end of the episode.
They're at the end of the episode. But
So
then
for now, they're at the end of the episode, and then maybe they'll be in shorts later. But thank you for coming, and it's nice to have you. And Cathie Wood.
And Cathie Wood, and So in our last episode, we went over that we talked about in Cathie Wood was episode 34 on November 14th. So if you haven't seen that episode and you're curious to check it out, scroll on down and go look for episode 34. That's where we talked about there was a lot of changes done in Cathie Wood's portfolio. She was moving Palantir, she's moving Tesla, she was buying the hood, she's selling Roku, and she was buying another AI stock that is ticker symbol NET, and I forget the complete company's name.
I can't really remember. And maybe like Cloudflare, something like that.
Cloudflare, yes. Ticker symbol NET. Yeah, she bought that. She bought more Palantir, and she bought Robinhood, and she sold some Tesla, and she sold some Roku. And those were her most recent portfolio updates until as of, well, the reason for this episode. Yeah. So Cathie Wood, it says here on this article from The Street by Ian Kreitzberg, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that name right, but anywho, the article's from today, November 22nd, which is also the time of this recording. And here it says Ark Invest made a big move Tuesday, which was yesterday, and it was reported today. The fund bought 261,829 shares of something that's interesting. Usually, Cathie Wood is usually super into tech and AI, but she bought Teladoc Health, a virtual healthcare company whose stock fell slightly on the day.
Yes. So wait. Have you ever used Teladoc before?
I've heard about it, but I've never used it.
I've personally used Teladoc, and I did not. You know, these are the things you need to be paying attention to, not just you specifically, but myself in general. Would not expect it to be blowing up. But I used it like years ago. So it's been around for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, okay. Cathie Wood signing on it, and maybe we should too. I don't know.
I wonder when it IPO'd. But anyways, it goes on to say the purchase made by Ark's flagship Innovation ETF boosted the fund's total Teladoc holding to just shy of 12.4 million shares worth roughly 210 million and weighted at 2.7% of the fund. The ETF is currently led by a $768 million, so almost $750 million, holding in Coinbase, which is weighted at nearly 10% of the fund. Ark Innovations vaunted Tesla, TSLA, has fallen to the number 3 position in the portfolio, worth roughly 650 million and weighted at 8.3% of the portfolio. So Cathie Wood owns more in her ETF of Coinbase now she has of Tesla, because she has been selling off a bit of Tesla because she owned a crazy amount of Tesla. It's still 8.3% of her portfolio, but she has been selling it so she could buy more things or I guess lower her position in Robinhood, because that was at a 52-week low, and she got it before they had a good earnings. I
want to add in real quick. So she also sold shares of DraftKings and snapped up shares of Recursion Pharmaceuticals. So she sold around $5.5 million worth of DraftKings, and so I have to wonder what's going on, DraftKings.
She probably I don't know if anything's going on. I think maybe she's just taking profit, because for a while DraftKings was kind of a hot stock, and then it had gone into some other states where it became legal and everything. So I think she is just taking profit, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? Maybe she knows something that we don't know or don't know yet.
Also, I found out Teladoc IPO'd on July 1st, 2015.
Okay, so
pretty much lines up because
just over 8 years ago. Yeah. It's almost 8.5 years ago that it IPO'd. But the point that actually, when I read this article, I was like, all right, cool. I'm definitely going to talk about a couple of things, which I knew going into this before, because Cathie Wood's always buying and selling multiple things all at once.
Mm-hmm.
But I think she is made some pretty good moves as of late, because Roku had a pop. She sold her Roku. And then she's buying Palantir at very good prices. Mm-hmm. And Palantir, nothing but getting 52-week highs as of late. Like, it literally got a 52-week high, I think literally it was 2 days ago. Within the last 4 trading days, it was like new 52-week high, new 52-week high, boom, boom. And then she kind of was selling Tesla when it like peaked, and now it's been kind of, and there's a lot of bearish sentiment on it. But that, I don't think, is also the smartest thing, is that the fact that she has $768 million in Coinbase. Now, if you asked me 2 years ago, or maybe even a year ago, I would have been like, Coinbase. But she got Coinbase. I know she got in at a very, very good price, like well under $100. And Coinbase is now trading very close to a new 52-week high. And they had a very, very, very good earnings, this last earnings, minus their cash flow. That is probably the only thing that Coinbase has to work on, based off of looking at their last earnings. Other than that, they have a very, very good earnings. And this stock has ripped from roughly, it was $71 the day before Halloween up to $109.99.
So are you saying you don't like her position in Coinbase?
I do. And I like it even more for another reason, is because of the big news that the crypto world got this week.
Okay.
CZ, the CEO of Binance, as everybody knows at this point, it was breaking news like 48 hours ago. He pled guilty, and Binance agreed to forfeit $2.5 million to the government and then pay another fine of $1.8 million, which is a combined $4.3 billion on top of losing their CEO. We saw their coin pullback a little bit. But now I think this is bullish if you own Coinbase, because just over $1 billion on top of the $4.3 billion that Binance has just had to pay to the government and to fines. They lost their CEO. 3 things. Just over $1 billion in customer funds has been pulled out since. Mm-hmm. Because probably investors and probably people are like, oh, what other sketchy things are going to come Binance now? Mm-hmm. This makes me very, very bullish for Coinbase after their good earnings. And now, in my opinion, and I'm sure if you have common sense, you're going to say, okay, how many customers just left Binance? How much money they just took out? I'd say at least a good quarter of those customers and a quarter of that $1 billion+ along with other people, are now going to Coinbase, because it's your next best popular centrally traded exchange fund. But not only is it your next popular centrally exchange traded fund, it's a very, very safe bet.
Okay, well, I have said this to say. It also says that Coinbase and Kraken are currently waging their own respective battles with the SEC. In June, the agency hit Coinbase with a lawsuit similar to the one it brought against Binance, alleging it operates as an unauthorized securities exchange, broker, and clearing agency. So I'm like, is it though? If the government's coming after Binance, is it safe? Is it secure? And I mean, this is not going to hurt.
Coinbase.
If they're coming after Coinbase as well, is it really secure? And I mean, Binance is still the leading crypto broker on the globe, in the world. But I mean, I don't think this is going to break Binance in any direction. I think it's just like a dent in their plans. But I don't know if I would necessarily say that Coinbase is in the clear. So, I mean, I guess it would be logical to be like, hey, Coinbase is still okay. Nothing has, flashed as a huge red flag yet, but it's still having the same issues as Binance, Coinbase, Binance, there's the same similar struggles.
But it's not because of anything sketchy that Coinbase is doing, though.
I mean, okay.
Also, Coinbase, in my opinion, is the safer bet because it's publicly traded. And publicly traded companies have a lot more people to answer to than just privately owned ones.
That's true. But also, there's like an anti-crypto sentiment with the SEC with Gary Gensler, and I just, even if it's publicly traded, it's still having issues with the government. It's having similar issues with the government. I mean, Binance is being like checked for like, money laundering and all these extra things, and their CEO did go to prison, but who's to say that Coinbase isn't far behind? Because it's publicly traded doesn't mean that it's not still under the same pressure from the US government. So
okay. Yeah. Well,
I don't know. It's just getting frustrating because it's getting harder to find spaces like to broker crypto, and to buy crypto.
That's why people say, hey, we'll just pay the price and use decentralized exchanges.
Well, do a lot of people know about decentralized exchanges? I don't feel like the majority of crypto purchasers at this time, crypto consumers,
people
know
who
about
are
decentralized,
people who are decently knowledged. People who are decently knowledged in crypto. And people who have any decent amount of money, probably more than a couple $1,000s, know what a decentralized exchanges and probably know what Uniswap is and PancakeSwap is.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say it would. It has the effect that Binance and Coinbase has.
Yeah, I don't know. Uniswap is maybe your next best bet after Coinbase for a centralized exchange. Well, I mean, to a decentralized exchange. My life went up.
I saw. It's okay. Your light gave up. Your light was like, I'm tired too. It is late.
Been on for 4 hours. Let's try to wrap it up a little bit. But I don't know. I'd say, hey, screw it. Support decentralized exchanges. They're decentralized. I don't know. It's kind of a pain. You got to spend a lot of money in fees. But if you're buying large amounts, it doesn't really bother you to spend $50 when you're dropping like $6,000 in crypto. That's why they're just like, accumulate, and stake. Don't trade because you're going to get destroyed.
Yeah.
unless like you happen to be like, oh, I got it at a good price and like I doubled my money. Okay, but yeah. He's why you're going to get destroyed. But anywho, just some quick information on everything I'm sure everyone's already heard. But just to go over some like the numbers and the interesting facts going on with this whole Binance thing is all
right, welcome back after some technical difficulties. So you were saying?
Yeah, welcome back from the SpongeBob technical difficulties. That's what we put there.
I love the transitions, but anyway.
But anyways, yeah, as I was saying before the video started cutting off and our devices started dying last night, I just want to quickly go over this article before more new numbers come out. Obviously, this is big for many reasons. The whole Binance scandal with CG.
CZ.
CZ, sorry, I don't know why I said G. Because it's, never mind. Yeah, it's Changpeng. That's why I said G. But yeah, CZ for the last name Zhao. Anywho, yeah, some of the interesting things and well, not so good things for Binance are some of the key points are Binance has seen outflows amounting to more than 1 billion in the past 24 hours, probably more now at this point because this article is 24 hours old. And it says, not including Bitcoin, according to data from blockchain analysis from Nansen. But yeah, they could tell what's been sold and what's been not. So apparently no one has moved or sold Bitcoin from their Binance exchange. And so far, who knows, they could be charged more down the road if more news comes out. But Binance has agreed to forfeit 2.5 billion to the government, the US government, and pay a fine of 1.8 billion, a combined 4.3 billion. In one of the, quote, largest penalties we have ever obtained, according to US Attorney General Merrick Garland. Very unique name, Merrick Garland. But so I think this is one of the reasons why a lot of people are now slowly moving to not only exchanges, but blockchains that are not, well, first of all, if you're a blockchain, you're not supposed to be like really based out of anywhere, but like where the blockchain was like registered.
Mm-hmm.
So like, for example, Cardano is registered out of Switzerland. Quant is out of England. And then Ripple is out of the US, but they were thinking about moving to England because the whole SEC thing. They were stuck for many years. But yeah, this is like another reason why. It's because the SEC just keeps on, and Gary Gensler just keeps on with his whole crypto. I don't know what the expression I should say, but his whole agenda against crypto.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of people are really like in the crypto world, especially are looking for exchanges, if not using even more so decentralized exchanges, and then investing into blockchains that are registered outside of the US. One of the reasons outside of Cardano, obviously being a very good blockchain, is it's cheaper, but it's out of Switzerland.
Yeah.
So
I can see that. Plus, I think some loopholes people are like companies or whatever trying to do are I saw that BlackRock had a ETF, and then they were going to put Bitcoin on it, and that was becoming a big deal. Maybe we'll talk about that in the future. But
ETF.
So you can trade crypto on stock exchanges now, and I'm like, isn't that defeat the purpose of crypto? Well, thank you. I don't know about all that.
Well, it's to track the price. You're not buying actual Bitcoin.
Right, but you're still purchasing into an ETF.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you buy like a minerals ETF or something, or you buy like an ETF that tracks like gold and silver. You're not buying actual gold and silver. You're just investing at the price because you're like, oh, I think inflation's going to get worse or this is going to happen. So I'm going to buy this to track this price. So it's like people who don't really like the crazy volatility of Bitcoin, like, oh, I bought it at 29. No, it's at 18. It's a little bit safer and more conservative to invest in the ETF, I guess, because you're just tracking how good Bitcoin is doing.
I don't know if that's accurate or if that's.
But that's why
I thought they had a.
More conservative investors, people who are like, oh, I'm not so sure about Bitcoin, but they want to like dip their toes in a little bit.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess they're not directly buying Bitcoin, but they're still kind of buying Bitcoin.
They're investing in the idea of Bitcoin.
I don't know about all that. They're saying that Bitcoin is like the price will skyrocket due to this ETF. Anyway, we're not talking about that. But
it's like when people buy QQQ. They buy QQQ to invest into tech stocks because they don't want to buy into the volatility of Apple and Tesla.
Right, I know that, but I don't know. I think that explanation is just a little loose, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah, that's why they're also doing or thinking about, and most likely will have one as well, an Ethereum spot ETF.
I just want to be able to buy crypto, and apparently you're going to have to get a VPN if you want to do that.
Unless you want to buy from a decentralized exchange and use
that too, but also my only thing is that it's not for me. It doesn't sound as accessible, and you have gas fees, and I'm like, gas fees all the time. Gas fees.
Well, that's if you're dealing with anything Ethereum and anything on the Ethereum blockchain, Chainlink, Shiba, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, you're going to pay very small fees if you're buying like other layer one blockchains like XRP, Cardano, Bitcoin, etc., Solana. You're going to pay a fee, but you're not going to pay gas fees. You're just going to pay a fee to the exchange of whichever you're using. The only time you use gas fees is if you're buying straight Ethereum or you're transferring Ethereum or you're transferring an ERC20 token. That works. Then you got to pay gas fees. Other than that, I would probably suggest if you're like, it depends. You can't really trade crypto anymore. They're making it impossible. But if you want to buy crypto, I would consider looking into the Tangem Wallet, and then you can literally just buy it straight from an exchange onto your wallet.
Okay.
And the Tangem
I'll look into that.
The Tangem Wallet works with the Decentralized Exchange 1inch. So you're just buying, but you're not having to go to like 1inch. You can literally like buy it and have it sent to your wallet. But yeah, also Tangem too, Swiss company, just like Cardano is based out of Switzerland. Well, registered out of. But anywho, back to like this whole article. I think this is gonna do two things. Three things. A, more market share for Coinbase. So if you like Coinbase and you want to invest in Coinbase, or you're already investing in Coinbase, it should make you bullish because Coinbase is your next big name after Binance. Then I think it's going to create more market share or / give the opportunity to a lesser known or less popular centralized exchange. For example, like maybe like Kraken or what's the other one that starts with a K? Kraken and
KuCoin?
KuCoin. Kraken and KuCoin. Okay. One of them you cannot use if you are a U.S. citizen, and I think it's KuCoin. You can use Kraken. I tried to use KuCoin because I wanted to buy Moonbeam, and they were like, "Oh, you're American? Screw you."
It's such a cute name, Moonbeam. So cute.
Yeah. But so yeah, I think it's going to obviously add more market share because, I mean, yeah, Binance doesn't totally non-exist anymore, but it just had over $1 billion. They just got hit with a massive $4.3 billion fee. And then as more of this news gets out, and then if anything else negative gets out in the coming days or weeks with Binance, you're going to see more people leaving Binance. And then the third thing I think it's going to happen is it's going to make people who already are in the crypto market be like, okay, we really can only do what you're supposed to really do in crypto, which is everything should be decentralized. So I think people who are like, oh, I was buying from Binance. Look what happened with Lunar. Look what happened with Binance. Look what could happen with Coinbase. And it's going to just push even more into being like, well, guess I got to buy my crypto from PancakeSwap or Uniswap. Or
I just don't think a lot of people are going to feel safe doing that. So that's the battle, I guess, the hurdle with that.
Yeah. But for me, crypto is like crypto now. And in the previous years is basically like tech stocks of the 90s. Lots of fear and lots of doubt. There are literally videos of people online, intelligent people, who are like, you can't make money from the internet. It doesn't exist. It's not a real thing. Like, there's a video of David Letterman telling Bill Gates, like literally making fun of the internet and Microsoft back in like 1996. And Bill Gates is literally sitting there trying to explain himself, and David Letterman is just making jokes. Yeah. And then Charlie actually referenced it in a video a very long time ago. He was just like, yeah, this is basically the same thing. Like the people of the 90s, the doubters who were like, you can't make money from the internet. It's not real. You can't grab it. Yeah. And now you have Amazon, Apple, Google, all of these, Microsoft, that have made people millionaires with like as low as like 5-10 grand because they invested into these companies in the 90s. And it's the same thing. People who are like, oh, Bitcoin's not real. How many millionaires has Bitcoin and billionaires has Bitcoin created in the last 12 years, along with Ethereum and many of these other coins? And it's going to be the same thing. And then 2030, it's going to be normal, and everyone's going to be like, "Oh, it coulda, shoulda, woulda."
Coulda, shoulda, woulda. Well,
that's my opinion. But anyways,
some people still struggle with the idea of like buying stocks online. They're like, it just doesn't make sense.
There are people still scared to buy like Apple stock. They'll buy an iPhone, they'll buy an Apple Watch, they'll buy a MacBook, and they'll buy an iPad, but they won't buy Apple stock. And I had the same conversation with Rich because he wants to invest, and Amy is like, "Oh, it's scary, it's the unknown." And he even said to what I said to her, and he's like, "That's what I said to her." He's like, "You're consuming all of these products. They're literally surrounding you inside of your house. Apple, Google, this, that, 3M, Johnson & Johnson, Procter & Gamble, all these products in your house. You're consuming them and you're spending your money on them, but you won't invest your money in it."
It's just some people feel comfortable doing certain things, and you have to respect it. And some people
I understand
others, and you have to respect it.
When you think of it that way, it's like, "Oh, I'll buy an iPad, but I won't buy a share of Apple. I'll buy Johnson & Johnson Band-Aids, but I won't buy a share of Johnson & Johnson."
Okay. Well, anyway, let's wrap this up.
Exactly. This is just a random podcast episode. A little bit of Cathie Wood, a little bit of Binance, and some crypto, because we never talked about crypto. And
our first crypto episode, technically.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Happy Thanksgiving. And I hope you are enjoying your holiday if you do or don't celebrate Thanksgiving.
6.5 hours later.
Like, no, he just works in construction.
Anyway, thanks for tuning in. For the fourth time.
He's the friendly neighborhood guy who owns the laundromat down the street.
Stay safe, stay classy, stay awesome, and check us out again if you would like, and check you later.
Indeed.
Bye.
Bye. You just don't know when to end it.
I don't know how to begin it or
end welcome it. Like 5 times. Like, welcome, 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 and welcome.
Yes, everybody gets a welcome.
And welcome.
Because everybody is welcome.
Inclusive,
all-inclusive welcome. That lets you know that I am enthusiastically welcoming you here, and I am enthusiastic about you being here.
We're all inclusive. We're like a resort in Turks and Caicos.
And continuing with the rambling, hope to see you again next time, even though I can't see you because I'm speaking to a camera, but I hope to see you again. You hope you see us again. And yeah, I don't have the eye of Santa, so that's what they say. He's always watching you when you're sleeping. As a kid, I thought that was terrifying. So
yeah, isn't that kind of weird?
Yeah, but whatever.
And wearing a red suit, and he's always watching you.
Yeah.
And if you don't do good, he's gonna leave you cold.
I think that would be a better story if Santa's like part of the mob, but he's like this weird, like OP character. Like that's how they make him seem anyway, in my mind.
Santa's like Capo and the Gambino crime family.
Jeez, if they could have spy glasses everywhere on anyone when they're sleeping.